Welcome to Kings of Kimuras.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Kings of Kimuras podcast. We're back in our original studio. How do you feel about it? Yeah,
I love it, dude.
yeah,
I feel
I
so
like doing it
comfy
out
on
here because the lighting's a little bit better, and I'm just not willing to invest the money. So if we got some people out there looking to sponsor this podcast, we need some lighting.
Yeah, we need some overhead lights.
Yeah,
Those ring influencer lights are not going to cut it.
no, no. So I guess let's start with like Pan Am's. You know,
Yeah,
obviously
Nogi Pans.
that was my first trip to New York. I can check that one off the list now. You know, I kind of always said like I would never go to New York, and I wanted to stand by that. But after my flight got canceled for going out to Jiu Jitsu Con for Mazzy, I asked her, what tournament do you want me at next? And she said Pans. I kind of hoped that she was going to say Australia.
Yeah.
I'd much rather go to Australia than go
Those
to
were
New
the
York.
two options, and she chose New
Yeah,
York.
well,
Dang.
there were three really, because I think there's like North Carolina or something in there. Like,
Okay.
yeah, so it's New York, North Carolina, or Australia, and you know,
Unfortunately, we
Yeah.
got New York here.
yeah. I went there. I had some amazing New York pizza. I don't know what the fuss is about. The Papa John's tastes the same as it does here.
Yeah. They say it tastes different over there.
Well, I mean, I'm joking about it. I did have Papa John's, but yeah, they say something about the water in New York makes the pizza taste different. But
All right.
yeah, we did have some Grimaldi's pizza, and you know, I will say Grimaldi's is always good, but the crust was like a cracker, very thin, and here it's a little bit more chewy. You know, I don't know. I think the Texas water really makes the pizza different.
Yeah. It's better, dude.
Yeah.
It's just better. What can I say?
Well, everything is better in Texas. I have to agree. You know?
Well, I don't know what they're talking about the water in New York because the Hudson River is polluted. Like,
Yeah, I wonder where all that water comes from. You know, surely they have a treatment center, but like, where are they drawing that water from? You know?
yeah, I don't trust it, dude. I don't trust it. I seen the conditions of the water there.
Yeah.
Definitely don't drink the tap water there. I don't drink tap water, period. I think that's probably one of the worst things that you could drink
Yeah,
in
if you
terms
don't-
of water.
If you don't have some type of filtration system on your tap water, then drinking tap water is not great. You know?
I don't know what's in there, but
Yeah.
I know that if I drink it, I feel it in my stomach immediately. I'm like, oh, this is unfiltered tap water.
Yeah.
Got fluoride in it. I don't know what's in here.
Now, you know, they like install a lot of these homes with like plastic PVC tubing, and you know, I've done electrical work before, so I know you use like a glue that's highly toxic. But I would imagine like there's some of that glue residue that's in that pipeline. I don't know for how many years or what, but like definitely like
Is
there's-
it that purple stuff that
the
they...
purple is like a cleaning solution,
Oh,
which I'm
okay.
sure like that stuff is toxic too.
Yeah.
But like they use that to clean first to get like a proper seal, and then they put glue on afterwards. But yeah, that PVC glue, man, that stuff will like melt your fingers together.
Oh my goodness. And that's basically you're getting like micro bits of that
Yeah.
going through the water.
Yeah, when I work construction, my dad one time he had some on his fingers, and he like touched his eye with it.
Oh no.
And didn't realize it, and instantly his eyes like burning, he can't see. And we go to a like a eye clinic that is like an emergency place for eyes, and they're like, sir, you just fill out this paperwork. He's like, you don't understand, my eye is like killing me right now. And they're like, well, we'll get to you. And he's like, if you don't do something right now, I'm about to rip every painting off of the wall that you have in here. And you're going to have a worse problem. They're like, okay, come on back. And they gave him some like liquid cocaine, like medical grade liquid cocaine. They dropped it in his eye, and it immediately stopped any pain that he had.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Cocaine eye drops.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they use that stuff a lot in like, you
Wait,
know,
so all I have to do is this with the glue?
yeah. You got to know the right people, apparently, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
It was
dude.
crazy. But to go back to Pans, you know, Mazzy wasn't feeling well for her matches. And the first one, she, you know, underperformed, I feel like, but she always fights better when she feels like purpose. You know, she's like irritated, like I should have won that or whatever it was. And so she came back. She had the same girl in the first match of the Absolute and just completely destroyed her. It's like 8-0, like 4 advantages or something.
She just has to wake up,
Yeah.
I feel like she's been doing it for so long that it's like you just said, she needs like purpose,
Right.
like initiative to try to do better. Like I almost feel like maybe if girls like talk trash to her more, because she's always like trying to be their friend too.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, at a certain point, these girls are not like Jasmine Rocha, I guess it's like a little more playful. It's not as like the trash talking is not as bad, but like if I feel like if she got trash talked, she would be like, oh, I gotta beat this girl up now.
Yeah, I mean, she, when we were warming up, she had taken some Sudafed, and I guess she had been like sick leading up to that week.
Oh, she took meth.
Yeah, pretty much. And she was not feeling great. I've taken that stuff before, and you almost feel like you're out of your body when you take that stuff. It's not a great feeling. And so when I'm warming up with her, I like collar tie her pretty hard, just to kind of like wake her up out of that. And she's like, "What did you do that for?" I go, "They're going to be doing that to you, so you need to get ready." And so we spent the next like 5 minutes with me like collar tying and shoving her, and she was getting more irritated, I could tell. And then when she went out there and fought, she was like, a demon possessed.
Yeah. That's I know we've talked about it before, maybe a long time ago, but the importance of getting a good warm-up before your matches, especially for something like Nogi Pans, especially considering the condition she was in. She was sick. She was, not feeling maybe motivated to compete that day, but once you get the blood flowing and once you get your mind warm as well, it's like, oh, I do this every day. Doesn't matter if I'm sick or if I'm feeling bad that day. I'm just going to go out there and scrap.
Well, and it's very important to, like, if you don't have somebody that can travel with you as a coach or a partner that helps you kind of like get a realistic warm up of, hand fighting or positional, whatever, you need to have an alternate choice of your warm up, something that you can do by yourself. And I've kind of like taken some of that stuff that we do with John as like those basic warm ups, like the fire hydrants, and, I'll mix in the Rubios. And then I always travel with like a foam roller and a band just so that I can kind of warm my whole body up, not necessarily doing, jiu-jitsu movements, but like doing movements that are going to warm my body up to perform.
Absolutely. Me and Steven, going back to what you said about implementing John's stuff, me and Steven were doing that before the Louisville Open, and that was perfect. I felt like my whole body was active, like my mind was sharp. Like we kind of went through the movements, and then we did some more specific stuff. But just that, getting the body ready for activity is like super important. Now it's like jiu-jitsu guys are stuck in the Stone Age. It's like, no, I don't need to warm up.
Yeah.
Well, what? You're about to go out there and scrap with this dude who's like world class, and you don't need to warm up? That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Are you trying to like get like a mental edge over these guys, being like, I'm just going to go out there and kill them? Like, that's not how this works at this level, man. Everybody's too professional. They're not just going to be intimidated by you because you're sitting around like with this mean look on your face.
Yeah. Well, and you go to some of these events like ADCC, and they put mats out for you, but it's a, like a 20 by 20 that's filled up with, teens and kids that are like doing flying submissions and stuff. It's not very easy to get a warm up in, so you have to be able to, take yourself outside of that and find a carpet area that you can warm up. Like with Landry for Louisville, when I asked her, okay, it's time to go warm up, she's like, I'm going to go to the mats. And I go, no, let's go out front, where there's no distraction. I feel like that's another thing is there's so many distractions when you compete that you kind of need that moment of zen almost before you go out. You need to get hyper focused on what it is you're about to do.
Yeah, on your goal, man. That's absolutely true. Like even Danaher talks about not being so focused on the production of the event. That's for all that other stuff is for the spectators, the booths and the people and the people walking around who are famous, like Jocko is at the last one and Jeff Glover. So don't get distracted by any of that stuff. And it's super easy to when you're when you go in there and you're in that environment consistently, and you're on the warm-up mats with all these people, and dude, some of those people are going hard too, and they're not necessarily watching their surroundings very, very closely.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, we travel with that little set of puzzle mats, but it's not the best thing, but it's better than nothing at all. I know recently you sent that thing to like the air up mats.
yes, so that's like
cool.
a prototype. Yeah. The first, actually, Brian got one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he pre-ordered one. So I'm excited to see like how functional it is, because that could really be the future of like traveling mats. You just fold it up. I'm sure you could fold it pretty small. From what I've seen. But even still, even if you can't fold it up at that small to fit it into a bag, you can just check it as like an item, or you could put it in a separate bag and just have it there. So
yeah, that's kind of what I already do. Is I just with the puzzle mats, I bought like a separate duffel bag that all of like. I've got chairs and stuff in there. It's just like the go bag for traveling to tournaments.
And you got the TSA pre-check, man.
Yeah.
You're cheating.
Yeah, no, that's a game changer. If any of you guys travel often, get the TSA pre-check, because it makes your life so easy. You don't have to take anything out of your bag. You go straight through. Like most of the time for me, it's less than 2 or 3 minutes through the line.
TSA pre-check. Get that if you travel a lot.
What is the next event that's coming up for Who's Number One? They have like a
it's
open
in
weight event?
so they're gonna have an open weight tournament. I'm not sure who all is in it, but I know Roberto Jimenez is in it. He's always super exciting. I met him in Kansas City. He was super nice guy, man. Like, was scrapping hard and like talking to people afterwards like nothing had happened. Just another day in the office for him. But
yeah, I remember one time he was competing when Fight to Win used to have the tournaments, and he was a green belt or something competing in the adults already, and the kid like completely dislocates his middle finger in the match, and like he pops it back into place and then goes right back in and wins the tournament.
What a beast. Yeah, that kid's always been built different. And now he's bigger. He's like over 200 now, so that's even scarier.
So I guess the next one is let's see here. I'm trying to find this actual date of Who's Number One, but I don't see that they have anything like listed as coming up. Like they don't have a date for it yet, maybe.
Interesting. I thought that they announced undercard matches on Flow. Because I saw that guy Kyle O'Hare. I don't know if you know who that is. He's like a MMA fighter, but his specialty is grappling. Like he's done some Fight to Wins and stuff.
Okay.
And he's got some good stuff. He's got good grappling, and he's kind of one of like after he wins his fights, he'll like do like a meme dance, and he's like, imagine getting beaten by this guy. So, and he was actually doing some grappling with that guy that Demetrius Johnson was helping out, Winged Sea, the guy with the headband tattooed on his head.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Dude.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to be October 24th, a Friday in Pittsburgh. So, they've got Declan in there, and then they've got one of the kids from that Alpha Miami, the oldest son.
Michael.
Yeah, Michael. And what is the Brazilian guy's name? This guy here from Six Blades.
Felipe Costa.
Yeah, and then they've got
Pat Shigoli.
Yes, who is like an interesting pick for that. Honestly, he hasn't really competed a lot lately. I think his last match was against Mason Fowler.
I haven't seen him. I know he's competed since then, but it's been on like small ones. Okay. Like his is it his dad or his brother? I don't know who, but they own something called Submission Only Grappling Invitational, SOGI, and he's like their champion at
I think it's his dad, because his dad is a black belt and owns a school up there.
Okay, yeah, that's he runs that over there, so he's had some matches on that, but in terms of like these high level tournaments, I haven't seen him since Mason Fowler.
Yeah, that was like the last one. I mean, he kind of was on like a little bit of a tear, but no pun intended, because he was like ripping knees and stuff.
Yeah, people had something to say about that. And it's like, he is kind of like ripping it, but at the same time, he's probably going to get ripped too. The other guys, if he gets a heel is he gonna probably do the same thing? Yeah, I think so. It's just the optics of it, you know. It just looks like he's putting so much gas into it, and he is for sure. But it's like you as a competitor have to be ready for anything. You know?
I mean, you got to be defensive at all times, right? So
bro, I got Connie Basami'd at a fight to win. There's footage. If you want to look on Flow, you'll see me get Connie Basami'd as a purple belt. Just be warned, though, it does look pretty bad. You know, MCL tear, all that, but. After that match, I really told myself, like, okay, I have to be ready for anything. Yeah. Like, anything can happen on that mat. This guy, because I never expected to get Connie Basami. You know, I thought the guy was going to maybe, like, wrestle with me and yada yada, watching some of his previous matches. I did not think he had the Connie Basami in his bag. Yeah. So, you know, and then obviously I made the wrong defensive reaction, ended up popping my knee, but after that experience, I was like, oh, I'm going to be ready for whatever.
Yeah. Somebody else they have on there is Achilles Rocha. You know, obviously, like always, a game competitor. You know. Yeah,
very aggressive. Gonna be in your face with the collar ties. I'd like to see him versus any of those guys, because you know, like Roberto, you're not gonna bully around. Yeah. Felipe Costa, you're probably not gonna bully around. Dante's in there, right?
Yeah, Dante.
Dante, you're not pushing around. That guy scraps with. He did heavyweight at Nogi Pan. Speaking of, so,
yeah, he did,
and he made the semifinals. He lost to the guy who got gold. That guy was a gigantic Brazilian guy.
There's like one more spot that's not open, but if I like look at the layout of like the person's head, if I took a guess, I would probably say like maybe Pixley. You know?
Yeah,
you know,
just
like,
the outline.
Yeah,
of
the
it.
outline it looks like Michael Pixley's head. You know.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Addition to that, the smaller guys are going to be a little bit angry, but
yeah, I feel like if I'm looking at the people in this, I like Declan probably has the ability to like make it all the way through.
I totally agree, dude. I totally agree. Declan is. As speaking from experience, I know we talked about it last time a little bit, but man, that guy is strong. I've trained with him a good amount over at B Team, and it feels like every time I grapple with him, he just gets stronger and better every single time. Yeah. Like there's never a period where I feel like I'm catching up to him. It's like I know I'm getting better, but every time I go over there, I get humbled again because Declan just. I'm like trying to wrestle with him. And he is just so strong and heavy that when he arm drags me, I'm trying to resist, and he just yanks me. I'm like, geez.
And he's there full time now, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not. Sorry. It's not B Team anymore. Yeah. My bad. It's over at Simple Man Martial Arts.
Yeah. So on the undercard, they've got Pun versus Galval, which is.
All right. Let's be for real here. Like Trinity Pun, she's very good. You know, maybe she could surprise somebody, but I think Sarah's just way too good technically. You know, Trinity's best stuff is like from her closed guard, and
I mean, she has some leg entanglement stuff too, right?
I mean, training with Danaher, you're probably bound to have some, but I think her best stuff is like her arm bar and triangle attacks.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to do.
Yeah,
against Galval, and then we've got Jones versus Corbe as well, which is
that's a fire matchup.
Yeah. I mean,
it's Gavin, right? I mean, Gavin's still really game. I hate to say it, man, because you don't want to like compare brothers, but if we're looking at it, DeAndre seems to be the better of the two. Sure, you know, but Gavin's still game, super game. I think Owen's got that though. Yeah. You know, his leg entanglements are so good. And honestly, his overall game is really good too. His passing game is really underrated. He's got some very good passing as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup for sure. But again, I have to agree with you that Owen takes that match. And then we've got Devontae Johnson versus Gutenberg Pereira, which is
that's probably going to be a very boring match if I had to be so for real. But it depends on what version of Devontae. I feel like Devontae does really well against guys who try to bring it to him. But if they're a little more stally like Gutenberg is, I think it's going to be a kind of a boring match. Yeah, sadly.
No, I agree with you. Did you see any of like that dude Little Jacobs matches at Pans?
Dude, he was tossing some guys around. I mean, I had that match with him at Oklahoma City. That kid is very, very strong and explosive. Like he passed my guard on the outside.
Well, he leads with his head a lot, where like it's almost like intentional, unintentional headbutt.
I definitely ate one in there somewhere.
Yeah, like as he's like passing in any position, he's just trying to like force his forehead into your chin or into your teeth, you know?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, it's effective, right?
Yeah.
Especially at purple belt where guys are maybe not so equipped to deal with that kind of pressure.
Yeah, he hit some huge takedowns too, man. And, you know, he came in here, I think he must have been like a blue belt, and I don't know if he was at Pedigo yet or maybe he had just gotten there.
Hey, he was. I remember because JB brought him from Pedigo, and he was like, dude, this kid's a monster.
Yeah, but he was significantly smaller. I mean, obviously he was like 18 or 19 at that point, but like if you look at his physique now, you know, I wonder if he can like maintain that once he gets to black belt. You know what I mean?
He's definitely like lost a little bit, like because he can be to the 170s now. Whereas he was at like 185 when we fought.
Sure.
But, I mean, shoot, he could definitely... He won double gold. I mean, he got gold in the absolute as well. So he kind of reminds me of like a Dorian. Mm-hmm. You know, they have a very similar style. Super athletic. Yeah. Have heavy wrestling base.
Yeah, I feel like that's a hard thing to maintain, though. Like, once you're... You know, for sure, you can maintain it for a while, you know, at the high level, but it's such like a taxing style of focusing on your athleticism. Not to say that he doesn't have technique, because I watched like his throws and stuff, and they're very, very good throws, you know, very technical. But like when you start to get into the adult level at black belt, you got a 10-minute match, maybe you have like 4 of those, 5 of those, you know, that's a hard thing to maintain that intensity for that entire time.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, just over time, that style, it's like you know, referencing other sports, Muhammad Ali, his style was very athletic. He's a lot of footwork, a lot of outside movement. Mm-hmm. When he got older, he wasn't able to move like that anymore. His boxing changed a lot, and like guys were hitting him more often. Yeah, because he just didn't, you know, have that speed, that athleticism anymore. Mm-hmm. So, but that's the beautiful part about jiu-jitsu, I think, is like, if you really are focused on slowing down and working on technique, like super duper slow, like turtle pace, you can be in this sport forever. Mm-hmm. You know, I want to be training when I'm in my 50s, you know, like Brad and these guys. So I know I'll be a lot slower, a lot more technical, but that's where the black belt magic comes in. I'm going to be putting that pressure.
Yeah, I'm still like have some of that athleticism. You know, I'm 42. But I'm seeing like my ability to recover is lower, and like, you know, right now I'm like dealing with tendonitis in both elbows, so it's hard to like do what I want to do. Like my body and mind know what I want to do, but they're not working together. You know? And it's I don't want to say it's frustrating, because I just use my time wisely of like coaching or like learning techniques, but it's definitely like making me realize like long term I have to adjust the way that I train if my plan is to train, you know, into my 50s and 60s.
Yeah, and also like selecting training partners, smart training partners, you know.
Yeah, there's some people that come up and they're like, you want to roll? I'm like, nope.
No. And that's the beautiful part, too, is you can say no, and people won't be like, Tony's soft, dude.
Yeah, I mean, then there's some like big guys that I like feel obligated to roll with because I am bigger, and then like, you know, not that I will regret it, but it's like, it's taxing. You know?
Yeah, I mean, very taxing.
I'm 220, but like if a guy's 250, I mean, that's a huge difference. You know? So.
Yeah, I'm like just over 200, and I'm like, dude, 250 that's a horrible ask.
It's hard to move people. You know, somebody explained it to me one time. They were like, I like to warm up with a small child, and then a woman, and then a small man, and then I'll move up from there if I feel good enough. And that's kind of where I'm at. You know, obviously we don't have like any small children that train in the noon classes, but like for sure I'm going to grab one of the ladies or one of the smaller white belts to kind of get some work in.
Yeah, just work a little bit, get warm. Hopefully they don't try to rip your head off. Then you have to go harder than you intend. Yeah. But again, that's where it comes to like picking training partners in a smart fashion.
And it's nice too on the days that we have like an uneven number where I can like actually do the first part of like the warm up, hand fighting and stuff. It kind of gives me like a little chance to warm up, because most of the time when I'm teaching, it's, you know, an even number of people, and it's not like I can go around and drill if I'm going to go help people. So
here's what I do, and this is something that's kind of sneaky, but if like people are struggling with the move, I'll like show it to them again, and that's how I can sneak reps in.
Okay.
So when I'm like showing techniques, I'll like go around, and I'll obviously like I'll let them do it, and then be like, here, let me show you again, and that's how I sneak in my reps.
Yeah, that's a good way about doing it. Yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about this Anna Mayadormo. Am I saying that?
Yeah, Anna Mayadormo, I think is how you say it.
So I've seen her compete before, but when we were at Pans, she came up and like there was a plug near us and plugged in, and she kind of gave Mazzy a little like motivational talk and didn't really like, highlight of like who she was, and I don't think Mazzy even realized it. But she won Pans as well,
Yeah,
like
the black belt. Yeah, pretty convincing.
Yeah.
She hit that nasty sub. It's like
a Kimura, but like a scoop grip.
Yeah, it was really weird. I don't know how. Did that girl could she just not pull her arm out, or?
I think she couldn't. Yeah, I'm like looking at a photo of it right now, and basically she had the girl's head like off to one side of the hip, and on that side she had underhook grip, and then she grabbed the girl's wrist with the other hand. So it was just forcing that Americana where. I feel like the only option that you would have is maybe like forward roll and then get your back onto the mat.
And give up mount.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only option. But maybe it protects your arm, but in the angle that I'm looking at it right now, it looked like already the arm was like coming up in the backside.
Yeah, it looked really bad. Bad. But she's really, really good. And just like watching, I think Lindsay was up there at the coach's desk watching some of her matches one day. And when she was a blue belt, purple belt, like she had some good skills.
Yeah.
But it wasn't obviously till like recently. She's been training over at Kingsway. She's been getting really good.
Yeah, she got all of her belts from Elliot Marshall.
At Easton.
Yeah, and he was actually there coaching her, and she was saying that he actually will travel to help coach her, when Donaher can't be there. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like,
that's amazing.
Coach, that's pretty good.
Good
work.
And she's like been all over the place. She just did the trial. She won Pans. Like she's on a tear.
Yeah,
she's tearing it up. But I was talking to her a little bit at the that B team event that I did, the team event. And she was really nice, like super friendly, and like was talking just jiu-jitsu and stuff. So yeah, hopefully we can make it to Kingsway one day, because I feel like it's like I fought a lot of their guys, but I'm also like really friendly with a lot of their guys, like Taza and guys like that. So I think it would just be awesome to go and train over there, see how it is.
Well, it's definitely like the place to go and train at now. Nothing taken away from Simple Man, but like, obviously like the best instructor is over there, right? John is over
the
there,
mad scientist himself, dude.
Yeah,
that guy is obviously like best brain in the business.
Yeah. Well, that's our sign to go ahead and wrap it up here. So we're keeping them short this time, guys. I hope you enjoy them. Make sure you follow on all platforms.
And that's a wrap for today's Kings of Kimuras episode. Thanks for joining us on this epic journey. Remember to keep training, stay curious, and always be ready for the next adventure. Until next time, keep your guards up and your minds open.